I need some puff and
And
ponder.
yeah, I know. Then I didn't have our intro.
Welcome to the Puff and Ponder podcast, where conversations ignite. Here's Kevin and Kerr. Grab a seat, light it up, let's unwind. Kevin and Kerr with stories in mind, from good cigars to last night's game. Join the talk, you'll be glad you came. Puff and ponder, sparks take flight. Conversations blaze all day and night. Tune in now, don't hesitate. It's the show that's great. Let's elevate where conversations ignite. Don't hesitate.
I tell you, the more I play that, I rock that song. I was musically singing. I forget what that term was called at the top of my lungs. What's going on,
wailing.
everybody? What's that?
I said you were wailing away.
I was
You
wailing
gotta send me
away.
that. Can you quickly send me that picture? Do you have that handy? Puff podcast.
I do not have it.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, not on this computer. I don't have
right.
it.
No problem.
What's going on, everybody? It's welcome to the Puff and Ponder podcast, where conversations ignite. I'm your host, Kevin Shahan. Joining me, Kerr Viajante. What's going on?
Not much, man. How you been?
Tired. I got some bad news. I'm old. I just found out today.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking it well. You remember back in the day, way back in the day, like when you could work every day for a month and nothing. You'd still go out at night. You'd never have an issue. Like your body never hurt. I've only had 2 days off in almost 3 weeks, and I'm dying. My body is breaking down. It's breaking, and this shit sucks.
Yeah, you're getting old, sucks, dude. I'm older than you. Trust me. I've been informed for a long time. And I can tell you,
God.
it is not pleasant at all. None of it. Not any of it.
Yeah, it's my back. I almost turned the cameras around and set everything up on my chairs because I didn't know if I could sit in this chair for a couple of hours tonight. And Jennifer W, new show song did you like that one? But yeah, it's I'm sorry, shoulder, knee. I was up underneath of a dashboard for 2 days on a vehicle, and God, just shit. Big heavy trucks, big heavy fucking parts, brake rotors that weigh 50 pounds. It's been brutal. I need a cigar though.
You do need a cigar, Kev.
I do. And then I chose one that's fucking giving me fits because, all right, because I really wanted to see how this one was. This is the JC Newman Bricktoberfest from last year. It's been in a glass tube for an entire year. So I was kind of interested to see what the humidity. It did have a little sponge in here, but I was interested to see what the humidity is like. So I think this might be like the oldest one I have in any type of tube. So
really,
let's see what 66% even after a year inside the tube.
Nice.
So that's pretty good. Actually, I do have that one that we need to smoke. Remember those ones Jessica found at Goodwill?
Yeah,
and I found it in my humidor I don't know, a couple months ago. And I'm like, I gotta get with Kerr and smoke this.
Yes.
What are you what are you enjoying tonight?
Hold on. I'm is it not letting me add anything? It's not letting me add a video.
It's not letting you add a video?
No.
That's weird. What happens when you select add video clip?
Hold on. Let me see. Here. Okay, now it's working. Now we're cooking with gas. you're gonna laugh because I have a very, very weak very weak picture I had to add to this. So I'm smoking the deconstructed Big Tony, the Mexican San Andres. Been digging on these deconstructed little Corona. Just a perfect smoke. Yeah. So I got my cigar prop gun lighter I'm using.
Oh, you still have that?
Where?
Or still using it anyways. I said I haven't fired mine up in probably a month or so.
Yeah, works fine. Love it. Big fan. Big fan. The one I haven't used that freaking my son Wyatt loves is the freaking samurai handle.
Yeah.
That's like
that company was so mad at me because I wouldn't do a video for them. And I told him, I said, I don't do unboxing videos or any videos of products I don't recommend and I don't like. I'm not doing it. You know, all you did is you sent me 2 lighters. That's it. And I gave them both away. Like I said, to set up a video and to do, if it was a cool lighter, I wouldn't mind throwing up a picture or a quick video on Instagram or something to help you out. But if they're not products I use, I don't make videos. You know, it's just not.
I can't blame you. You know, like you said, if you're not going to buy it or you're not going to use it, then why promote it?
Yeah.
You know? So I have to ask you. I gotta do the reggae intro.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let's see if I work this out. Hold on.
Welcome to the Puff and Ponder podcast, where conversations ignite. Here's Kevin and her. Grab your seat, light it up, let's unwind. Kevin and her with stories in mind. From tech tips to last night's game, join the talk, you'll be glad you came. Puff and Ponder Sports take flight, where conversations ignite. Tune in now, don't hesitate. It's the show that's great. Let's elevate.
I like it.
It's different.
Yeah, it's definitely different. Yeah, we'll put it in a rotation because you had a couple good ones. There was another.
When you get a chance, you got to send me a good picture of a podcast thing.
Yeah,
you know, and then podcast, not pondcast or whatever it is that Taylor Swift says.
Partcast. Yeah,
like read the damn line, Taylor Swift.
Morning. Yeah. So been super busy at work for like 3 weeks now because, and I say, you know, just every Saturday I've been taking off. Well, I took off last Saturday because I had my daughter's gender reveal. Thank you, little boy. Which was I was hoping for a little girl because I like so.
People were asking, stop yourself in that mid sentence.
Yeah, people were asking me why a little girl, and I said, you know, and I told them, I said, you know, when you have a little boy, when you have a son, they only need you for so long, you know, and for the most part, and then they move on, they get their own families, and they don't need you anymore. I go, little girls need you forever. Like my daughter just turned 30. My daughter still needs me, still calls me, still has questions. Like my son is not that way. So I'm like, that's what you get with a little girl. You get a best friend for life that always needs money and advice.
Sounds like more of a Kevin issue than it is a gender issue. So
yeah, you're right. But then there was a lot of her friends were there, and they had like 6 little girls, all the same age, right around 5-6 years old, and they were monsters. Kerr, all of them. There were only 2 little boys there. 2 little boys. One maybe 4 or 5, and the other one was like a baby, like 1 year old. So you know that both of the boys were chill, but the other boy, like he just played with like the dump trucks in the yard, and they had some toys like some dinosaurs. Super chill the whole day. Didn't care. Those girls, monsters. It was because they had a bounce house, and they were like wrecking the inside of this bounce house. And one of the other dads goes up and is like, hey, you know, well, actually, he wasn't in any of their dads, but, you know, a dad goes up, tries to talk to the girls. Hey, you got to be careful, girls. And then I told him, I said, just shove them. Just shove that girl. She's screwing around inside there. Just shove her. She'll get the point. Because obviously it's not our kids, so we can't do that. They're not listening to him. Jessica goes up there. Mom goes up. Goes full mom on these little girls. You get down there right now. You start listening. I'm going inside and get your mom. You know, so I'm just. This guy's looking at me. I'm like, you know, we had to send a mom in. We had, you know, it's the only
jersey going too.
Oh, to get that jersey. But yeah, she was just that snapping and pointing. You get down right now. Those girls snap to attention.
Oh yeah, yeah. Little boys, you just give them some rocks and some sticks, some mud, some dirt, maybe some army men or something. And they're all inclusive too. They're just like, come on, guys, let's go. Or girls are like, okay, let's go. Not you.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. So then us dads just kind of did our thing and hovered around the grill, you know, just hanging out like, all right, this is what we're doing. So it was a fun event though. So, and then this Saturday coming up, I've got Cigar Circus opening up, Ryan Gallimore. So we got that event Saturday, and then at this Sunday we've got a lunch at our favorite barbecue place owned by friends of ours, Ray and Nikki. So they're having a private function because it's Mike Rosales from Roma Craft. It's his birthday, so we're doing a private lunch with you know, maybe a dozen people with Roma Craft. Hopefully bring some free cigars. And then because there's nothing better than sitting inside of a barbecue restaurant, eating barbecue, smoking cigars, drinking cocktails, and it is just it's a great event. Then I got coming up in a couple weeks the Great Smoke 2025 Renaissance Revival. We got that down in Boynton Beach, and then next thing you know, you and I will be hitting the road for PCA. It's it is I had to warn my new service manager. I go, man, this is my travel time of year. Like the spring up until like June, I go, I got some time off. So
yeah, I'll be going to a work event. I'll be going to Oklahoma City in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, super.
Yeah,
super
it's
cool.
Gonna be a quick one. Just like there for a convention real quick for a couple of days. So
okay.
I'm gonna see if I can at least skate away and hit a cigar lounge or two.
I should say you'll stay for an extra day.
No. That's that. No.
Yeah, I got a work event, a class I got to go to down in Boynton Beach in like 4, 5, 6 weeks or so, and then I'm gonna try and stay an extra, maybe one extra day. But if anything, at least Jessica will get to come with me because my company pays for the hotel, and it's in Boynton Beach where Smoke Inn is. So she'll get to come down with me. She gets to hang out at the lounge all day long, you know, get some content, talk with her boss Abe, and you know, by the time I get out of class, because these are 8-hour day classes, so they're not fun classes. So hopefully maybe I can skate over there and get one cigar in. She'll be like, you know, I'm ready to go now.
I know, right? Nah, if I want to stay an extra day, I'd have to pay for the hotel and stuff. I mean, you know, because it's just the timing and everything. But, you know, I'll be getting in, so I'm definitely going to try and hit a lounge. You know, maybe 2 if I get the time. You know, these things, everything's always mapped out, and then you're always having dinner with somebody. You know, you know, and stuff like that. And
you ever been out there?
No.
Hitting
Oklahoma City. I mean, there's been a couple of trips where, like when I went to Salt Lake City a few years ago, it's the first time in Salt Lake City. You know, it's where I went to the Beehive. You know, I've been down to Texas a few times. You know, as well. So I mean, it's just a couple of just most recent trips. You know, but going to Chicago every time I go up to Chicago too, go up in that area, I'm always make sure that I hit the different cigar shops up there too. Always.
I don't. And I'm sure there's 100 lounges or whatever that, and I'm sure we know people that are out there, but offhand, I can't think of, anybody like ever, that talks about Oklahoma.
No,
RJ.
No. Yes, RJ, I do.
That we do. So to just to get out of the YouTube rules, that's why we kind of started this new one. Too much advertising tobacco on the other one, and that's why we cut that one back to once a month. And they don't even like us smoking cigars. So that's it. So it's hard to get people to support the show. It's not hard to get people to support the show. They'll support the show because they like me and Kerr, but we always want to give them a good return on their investment as well.
And navigating those waters is tough, man. It's really tough to even kind of I think you're going to be disingenuous when you're trying to sell the audience you're reaching when you know that you have a major filter that is just random.
Oh yeah, but we do want to talk about one of our partners for this show. Kerr, we got to get hooked up on our unboxing this week for JerkyGent.
That's right.
So before we kick off the show, we'd like to thank JerkyGent for being a supporter of the Puff and Ponder podcast. JerkyGent.com is just not another snack website. They're a flavor expedition for the connoisseur of craft beef jerky. Every month, their Beef Jerky Club subscription box delivers an assortment of premium mouthwater jerky brands and flavors sourced from across the country. They're carefully curated selections, and I got to rewrite this, ensure a unique tasting journey for their subscribers with new brands and flavors introduced every month. Did you try that Japanese one yet that you got?
No, you told me not to.
Did you?
No.
Oh no, I told you to try it beforehand, so we'll have something to talk about when we do the unboxing. And
you never told me when we're doing the unboxing.
I don't know either. So
all right, then it sounds like whenever you give that date, anytime prior to that would be before.
All right, so we will do.
I'll wait for your lead, man.
We got Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Because I got my snack crate that I'm doing.
Do you want me to try it now?
Yeah, try it now. I want to.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
I want to live vicariously through you because it looked really good. So I had a choice. I got 4 packages of jerky, and I had to pick 2. And next time, I'm just going to reach in the box, pull out 2 random ones, and put them in another box. And so I don't know what you got.
Yeah, you see, it's about communication, Kev. I'm sure Jessica tells you that all the time.
Yeah, that's it.
But no, I mean, it's I was just waiting to hear from you on when you want to do the unboxing. Yeah. I figured prior to that, but
no worries at all, RJ. There's a way of cigars that gets around it. You should look up. I know Tim. Tim Swanson is really, really good at what he does, and he never falters and accidentally says where to go to get cigars. I'm always like, when we have a guest on, I'm always promoting that guest and their website, and it's just I'm not as good as Tim. So that's why Tim gets away with it.
Am I allowed to show these, or are we waiting for the unboxing, or should I just go right to the one?
No. Show everybody the
so it comes in that cool box, right? You get the box.
Yeah,
here.
and then we'll
And then while I'm doing this, I did get a chance to see on Friday. I got to see Will from Drew State.
Yeah, Will McFall, Willie McPhilly.
He's such a great guy, man. Such a great dude. I mean, genuinely a good dude.
Yeah, that fusion, that looks so good.
And then I got my JerkyGent sticker.
Oh, right on.
That's my spot for that. So he's such a genuinely good guy, man. He is just a huge fan of the person that he is. Ooh. Was
that a good or a bad smell?
That smells nice.
Oh, does it?
Oh yeah. Oh, dude. That smells real nice. Oh my God. You know what? You can wait for the unboxing, but does not taste the way it smells. It's got good flavor.
Yeah.
Very, very sweet. Not very sweet. Got good flavor. but when you smell it, then you taste it, does not taste the way it smells.
I find it because that's a lot of things, especially like cigars. When we smell them or we take the
Exactly.
cold draw,
yep.
And then we light them up. We're like, I should have just chewed on it for a little while, and just done it that way.
Well, the Grace O'Malley, there's an example of a cigar. Like when you first smell it, you could definitely smell the infusion, or the what would you call that, Kev? The rum.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would call it an enhancement. No, it wouldn't be an I guess just an infusion. I don't. Yeah, we need.
We got to think of a word there.
Yeah, we probably should
on that chat GDP.
Yeah,
but then when you do a cold draw, but then when you smoke it, it's like, wow, okay, it's great flavor, complements the tobacco. You can taste the tobacco. Just really, fantastic cigar, but nothing like what you would smell.
No, you smell it and you're expecting a lot, and then so far I've had good feedback from some of the media. One person was a little disappointed because of the smell, and they really wanted that strong infusion of the rum, and but they weren't disappointed. They were just like, oh, I was just like a little let down, and then I smoked the cigar. It was really good, and it was a great cigar, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But it's like I was just hoping for that little bit more. So
suffuse, we'll use that. Suffuse, SUFFUSE.
Suffuse. It's been suffused.
The cigar has been suffused with rum. Honestly, I mean, I was really impressed but happy with the fact that it didn't have a very strong, because listen, when I smoke cigars like that, and I've done it with my own cigars, I don't want to be overwhelmed with the liquor. I don't. I mean, what I want to do is I want to smoke a cigar and drink liquor and have it, but I don't want to have that in your face. And the rum itself is very complementary to the tobaccos. I told you, if there was a way to say, what would spiced rum taste like if it was made into a cigar? That's what O'Malley would be.
So it's we're getting good feedback on it. It goes live on Saturday. We'll see how everybody does with it, and super excited to get that out there. And and speaking of like rums, another reason you should have moved to Florida. Coming up in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Jessica and I are going to Big Smoke Whiskey Fest again at the Hard Rock. We got another cigar company gave us VIP tickets to Big Smoke Whiskey Fest. So,
well, I don't need to live there to go to that. You could just take Jessica's ticket and give it to me.
Well, technically, they gave her the tickets, and she's taking me. So
in that case, then you could take her ticket and give me yours.
So it's one of these companies that love her more than they love me, and they're like, hey, here's 2 tickets. You can bring Kevin or whoever else you want. So it's one of those things.
Like I said, man, just you take her ticket and then you give me yours, and then that way you're not giving me her ticket.
Yeah. And when they ask, be like, I took her ticket. Kerr's got my ticket.
Yeah. It's I didn't give it to Kerr. Kerr doesn't have Jessica's ticket. See, that's the way, because you're a family. You live under the same roof, and that is, that is the way it goes. At least that's just my recommendation. You don't have to follow those recommendations, because the Lord knows my recommendations probably be a little on the wrong side. But yeah, I gotta tell you, I gotta try this other one now. That was your Grace O'Malley really is a good cigar, and I wouldn't tell you that just because it's yours. It's because that rum. It's just enough, man. It tastes just like spice. The cigar tastes just like spiced rum.
Oh, thank you.
The blend of that cigar, man, and the way it had the way that it had accepted the rum. I guess maybe you could say that, right? My cigars accepted rum, instead of saying diffuse or anything else. But the way that it just accepted the rum it complemented those tobaccos. So Risty did a great job too at the blend. God dang.
Yeah, and he was one of the people that when going down like the list of like projects, which we ran into that with the Candela that we did, the Silent Green.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain manufacturers that and that's their prerogative. I say get uppity about their cigars. Like if I buy a cigar, I should be able to do whatever I want with it. But I have enough respect because I know enough people in this industry. I would never go against somebody's wishes. If they were to make me a cigar and I say, hey, I'm going to barrel age it. I'm like, hey, we'd rather you didn't. I would listen, but Risty's like, hell yeah. It's like, let's do it. I think it's a cool, I'll get you something, that, needs to stand out on its own, cause it's going to be muted a little bit. And yeah, he did a great job. And, I'll probably do the next one, with Risty as well. And, I was talking to you a little bit. I think the next project will be pretty cool. I think we're going to do something, a little bit different on the next project is, start offering the cigars right away, like as a subscription or something. I'll have to pick your brain when it comes time. We'll have to work out something.
Yeah. I like where you're going with it. I know a lot of when we were messaging each other the other night. I like where you're going with it. Do you like spicy stuff? Do you like hot, spicy stuff?
I love hot, spicy. I love habanero. I love
you have do you have a pretty strong palate?
I would say I got a pretty strong palate.
For some reason, in my older years, it's getting worse. Like I have always been a big hot, spicy person. Then acid reflux, the age thing hits you and you get acid reflux. So then it's like, okay, I'm gonna take 3 Gas X and a omeprazole before I go out and have some wings, right? The Rockin' Horse beef jerky.
Yeah.
That one I may be thinking about at like 3 a.m.
Oh, really?
I got a little piece.
Yeah, because both mine are hot this month too. I got the Bonfire bourbon, but my other one was the I don't know where the sticker was. Maybe it fell off inside there. Was a habanero.
Yeah,
so,
this one's just, it says crushed red peppers, and I like crushed red peppers. I love it on pizza, but this one here is definitely.
So what you're saying is when I come up there and we do the Hot Ones challenge, you're gonna have a difficulty afterwards.
Oh, I'll be prepping.
Oh, okay.
I'll have Gas X. I'll have a omeprazole, and then I'll have Galveston afterwards. I'll tell you what, man. I used to eat a lot of hot stuff back in the day. My brother too, and my dad. Like my dad could sit there and eat spicy as shit.
My dad was the same way. I was the same way. I have, the older I get, I don't have any problems with it. I just feel, I don't gravitate towards it as much as I used to. Like I would, like when I go to get wings, they were always mango habanero. I wanted the hot wings. Now I want something flavorful and it's going to be, that's good, because then I could just eat anything. If you're just going to slap some hot shit on food, who cares what it is? So, I think I gravitate more towards the, where I can still taste the food and then, taste the spice.
The thing is, I like spicy, but I like it with some flavor, right? Where I think back in the day, I just used to go full out,
just because,
just because it was hot and, all that crap. But, we did wings. Jen did wings for the Super Bowl, and we used a sauce from Quaker Steak and Lube called Louisiana Liquors. And that's one of my favorites, and that's got some spice to it, but it's got crazy flavor. And for me, that has always been like one of my favorites, only because of the fact that it's spicy, but it's sweet. It has some a little bit of a deeper, like it's not hot. It's got some deeper flavors to it. Just a big fan of it. And then like you said, I've had the any type of mango habanero, stuff like that is always really, really good. But I used to eat wings all the time at Wild Wings Cafe um, down in Augusta, Georgia. I don't know if do you have Wild Wings at your place?
Buffalo Wild Wing. Is it just called Wild? Because we have Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, no, it's just called Wild Wings.
Oh, okay.
Wild Wings Cafe.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have some here. Like I said, we had some over in we got some down in Augusta, Georgia. And they have a sauce. I'm trying to find it right now, but they have a sauce, Kevin. I swear to God, I used to travel down there for work, and I used to eat their wings, and I get wings and a bucket of beer, and I'd probably wake up at like 1:30 in the morning, and I'd have to sleep sitting up.
You know, we used to go to when in my late teens or maybe early 20s. I said when I didn't know what good wings were, Hooters, which horrible wings now, but we would go there and order bucket after bucket of beer.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we'd go there and order 3 or 4 buckets and then just order a couple hundred wings. It'd be half a dozen of us, got just a whole mixture from plain to whatever, and we would just destroy wings and beer, man. Just like I said, bucket after bucket and piles of bones, and now they're filing for bankruptcy.
Really?
Hooters. Yeah, it might be closing. They say the newest generation doesn't really want to see women in the tight clothes serving food.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. We used to go all the time to Hooters back in Harrisburg, a buddy of mine, and it was just we used to go there and eat wings and drink beer. That was it.
Yeah, we stopped going to my local one. The food started to go down because they had really good food, like great food.
Yeah,
and then really, really went downhill. Service went downhill, and it's like, it's not worth it. And because there is another place, it's the other girls. I don't know the ones that wear lawn. Twin Peaks. We have one which I haven't been to yet. And which I really don't care. I liked when I was in
go to a Twin Peaks before.
When I was in
it was pretty funny.
Clarksville, Tennessee, right outside.
You're muted, Kev.
Am I?
Can't hear you.
That's kind of weird.
Can anybody else hear Kevin, or is it just me?
Can you hear me?
Hooters is getting beat up by Twin Peaks and Twisted Kilt. Yeah, that's right. Twisted Kilt.
Yeah.
Brian, can you hear Kevin?
Can anybody hear me? Just you? Let me.
Oh, I guess they can hear you, Kev. I can't hear you at all.
I mean, just you. What does that mean? Just you can't. Just Kerr can't hear me, or can everybody not hear me?
You're pointing. I can't hear you.
Loud and clear.
That's weird. Let me see if I can get out. Let me see if I can get out of here and come back in again.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I should probably be talking about it. Looking here, waiting for Kerr to come back in, and not realizing there was a dead area. So yeah, it's Hooters. That was it always holds a special place in my heart because that's where all of us guys, before we all got married, before we all had kids, like that was our place. We'd go in there, order multiple buckets of beer, like I said, 100 wings, and it was just have a good time. And the girls that were there, we never flirted. We probably flirted with the girls a little bit, but they were just cool. They said, it was always a good time.
Sorry about that, Kev. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. It must have been my headset just died or something. It was I couldn't hear you anymore.
Oh, that's weird. Is it no, it's not. It's wired though. Yeah, so it's yeah.
Just stopped working.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. And I want to make
sure.
But
Brian said a twisted kilt, but it's a tilted kilt.
Tilted kilt. There you go.
I went to my first one in Clarksville, Tennessee. Graham and I went up for the barn smoker, and we got to eat his first White Castle, and then we competed the next night with Crystal Burger, and I had each one. And then we did tilted kilt, and I loved the tilted kilt. The restaurant was fantastic. The bar was second to none in that area, and the food was it blew me away. The food was just amazing. At this, maybe they're not all like that, maybe they are, but the tilted kilt is as a definitely.
I've never been to a tilted kilt.
I've never seen them anywhere. I saw that one.
We have been down in Columbia, South Carolina. Right along the way is Columbia.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never been in one. I think there's one too where it's like all the girls are just like librarians or something.
Yeah, they're wearing kilts, little tiny mini skirts, wearing their white shirts tied up with their boobs hanging out. So, so that's always a plus. Always makes the meal go better.
Yeah, but that was really that was odd. I got my headset to work again for some reason. It was like the sound was muted coming out of it. But there's a couple. I can't remember the name of the place, but it was an old library. They dress up like librarians and what have you. But we went to. I've been to Twin Peaks a couple times, and I thought their food was pretty good.
Yeah. Now the one by us, because I guess some of them like wear full on lingerie, and then depending on the area that you're in, like they dressed a little bit more, not as risque. That's the one by in Sarasota. So I guess if you're too close to a school or, I think it's close to a college or something, but their dress code is a little bit more, not as naked. Naked.
Yeah. I always laugh whenever I check out like the like you'll see an advertisement for Twin Peaks. It'll be like, yeah, Twin Peaks, come down and watch our lingerie football game. And I'm like, what? Like, is that a thing? Is that for real? Like, you just, like, we went there and they're all, I get the whole idea that they're all dressed like lumberjacks and wear like the plaid, skirts or the shirts and everything else. And, but it just popped up now. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my system on the end, but it just popped up, Kev. It literally.
Oh, okay.
Something adjusted. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I've seen that before, and I was like, okay, I got, they're all wearing boots. They all have the booty jeans, shorts, and the tied up, flannel shirts. But I'm like, you're really gonna do the lingerie football game for real? I don't get it.
Yeah, RJ, boobies, hooters, fun bags, and wings. So, and it was weird when we went there once. One of our favorite waitress, she was pregnant, and then her shirt said like baby hooter on board or something. And we're like, and she'd been our waitress for a long time, so we always would say, but I'm like, that's a little weird. It's a little weird, having a I'm all for being progressive and everything else, but when I go to a place like that, I kind of want some good food and I kind of want to look at some hot women, and not a pregnant woman.
This will probably not go over well, but I can say a story that I observed, which it was not me that I participated in, but we used to go to Hooters, and I'd meet my buddy, and we'd sit there and we'd have our drinks and beers and stuff. We always had, like you said, we always had the same waitress. They're always very cool. Come over, she's super friendly, always helpful. And it just happened to be that he always had one beer, I actually like their chicken fingers, you know, in this sauce versus the wing. They had great chicken fingers, and it was kind of this middle meeting part for us. And the one time we were there, we were hanging out, and the waitress came over. I guess she wasn't working that day, but she came over and she had her little one with her. She's like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" It's my little one. My buddy's just like, "I don't need to see you like this. You gotta go."
Yeah.
I go, "Dude, are you serious?" He's like, "She's the Hooters girl. I see her in her Hooters outfit. I don't need to see her with her kid. I don't need to see her in street clothes. I just want her in her Hooters clothes."
Yeah, it was
I thought, man, you are brutal, bro.
Yeah, so when I used to run the Quick Lube in Northport, all the girls from Emerald City, which is the strip club in Port Charlotte, they all brought their cars because one would bring their car. We were talking one day as I was in there having beers with my buddy, and then she had mentioned something her car wasn't acting right. I'm like, "Oh, hey, so talk to me about your car. What's going on?" And then so we had this conversation about her car, and then she used to start bringing it. I remember the first time she brought it in, she's like, "Hey, Kevin," and I'm like, "What?" I had no idea who she was, you know. And then she had to say that. I'm like, oh yeah, I saw you naked. Every time I've ever seen you, you've been naked. So that's and put two and two together. But then all the girls would come in, and it's weird to see them, you know, like out and about, like out and like they're real people. So
you used it's when I worked at Enterprise Rent a Car, we worked right up the street. My original office, we didn't have our satellite office, but then we opened a satellite, and there was a national a corporate account with Al's Diamond Cabaret. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of Al's Diamond Cabaret. It was always a really big advertisement on the Howard Stern show back in the day, like back when he was actually funny, and you know, wasn't who he is now. But and we used to rent cars to the featured dancers, and a lot of times they'd come up to this, you know, to the location. But we've had a few deliveries, and there is nothing more odd than going to the location, going into the back and hanging out, and then the dancer coming right off the stage and walking right up to you naked and hand their driver's license to you. I've had one too many people with me just kind of like like completely freeze up, can't speak two words, can't put a sentence together. And I'm just sitting there thinking, man, and they, after we left, we're like, "You want to go back down the night?" I'm like, no, I don't. That's not my scene. You go ahead and go do it. You know, you're gonna, what are you gonna do? You go down there and say, "Hey, remember me? I delivered your car."
Yeah, you know, so some guys have a problem, and so before I worked on all these girls' cars, a friend of mine, his wife was a stripper, so we'd get to go into her place and be in the VIP, which that means everybody left you alone. Like, we wanted to be in there, a place that we could drink, we could talk, and it was listen to the DJ, party atmosphere, and the girls weren't hounding you like they do out on the regular floor. Right. So, but I guess we just got used to seeing naked girls all the time. But you bring someone new, and like, oh, and a girl like sit down, like having a conversation, and guys can't converse with a naked woman, and then we'd always took that for granted. Like, oh, well, yeah, it's just what her name was, Tristan or something. I forget what her name is. Yeah, who cares? She's naked. Whatever. Seen her naked a million times. You know,
I've never been into that. I've never been a strip club guy. I just never,
you know, it was if it wasn't for his wife working there, I had a girlfriend at the time, but yeah, we probably wouldn't hang, but we got good price on drinks, good music, place to hang out, chill out with the guys. And you know, I'd maybe like on a Saturday night, if I spent $50, that would be like my max, you know, just to give the girls like whatever. So, but yeah, I've never, you know, but we would see what. Oh, she must have got out. So, but yeah, but these guys, we'd see them in there just spending thousands of dollars, Kerr, bottle service, and it's just like absolutely insane. and we know guys that would blow their whole paycheck.
A couple times I've gone, but the one time I remember we were in Detroit, and I was there for GMAC training, and we went under and went into Windsor, Canada, and they were like, you got to go into the strip club, get the best ones. And we went in there, and it was like, they sell cigars in there, so you could. And I was just sitting there, and it was a group of us. A bunch of girls came with us too, who were there, for the training, men and women. And I was just looking at the prices of everything, and I'm like, And like you said, there's guys sitting there with a drink with two girls that smoke a cigar, and I'm like, first of all, the concept just kind of, Secondly, I'm just looking right there. You probably got a couple $100, just everything invested, just in that moment. Lord knows how much you've been blowing all night long, and like you said, I talked to the guy next to someone because we left. We went down to another bar, and next day we were talking to a guy. He's like, "Oh yeah, he blew a couple $100 there, like in a matter of minutes,
Yeah,
and that was, gosh, what that was the mid '90s, that happened.
Yeah, my buddy Trina was her name, and I haven't seen her in years, but yeah, her and my buddy, they got married. They had two houses, they had cars. She was one of the few that did not get into drugs. We had a few friends of ours, that their girlfriends, and it was just, man, it was just a brutal lifestyle. But Trina and JG, they were smart, saved their money, and last I know, like, they both retired, like, just a couple of years ago, so they're about the same age as me, and they just she used to travel to all the clubs. They would do the amateur. She would do the amateur nights, even though she wasn't an amateur.
Yeah.
And they just bank all their money, and they were just smart with it. And
am I echoing, Kev?
No, you're echoing earlier without the headphone on, but
okay.
Not.
All right, there we go. Yeah, it is kind of weird, when you see it. Like you said, if that's what they do, and that's what they spend their money, or they can invest their money, and that's their business opportunity, then God bless. But
that's it. But the guys that what about the strip clubs that have buffets and food? You hear those guys talking, like there's a couple up in Tampa, and I've never been to any of the clubs. You got I know you got a 2001 Space Odyssey, you got Mons Venus, you got the Gentleman's Club. Those are the three big ones when you go into Tampa on that street. They're the biggest, the brightest lights, and like one of them has like a lunch buffet. You can go in there, and it's just
I couldn't even tell you a strip club around here. I'd have to Google it.
The only one we ever ate at was you remember you had to have seen on I-75 the billboards for the what was the cafe, and it was like every other billboard was for this cafe at like the
South
Florida Georgia this Florida Georgia line.
Yeah.
And it was like I said, every other billboard, best food in the South and naked girls, and it was just one bill, and we'd always see them going up traveling. And one year we were coming back home, being a bunch of guys come back from Cedar Point, and we're like, damn it, let's stop in there, because I'm like, we're making good time. It was like dinner time, and like we've been seeing these billboards for years, and we went into this bit hole of a dive bar that had a tiny little stage, and we're thinking, how the hell can you afford 100 billboards? Like, how much money?
They invest all their money,
making all this money. So we all had burgers that we didn't want to eat, and these girls, and it was just it was
that's funny.
It was brutal.
Invest all your money in billboards.
That they did.
Yeah, I don't.
I think it's Cafe Risque. I think that's what it was called.
Cafe Risque. Yeah, I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff. But yeah, it is always kind of comical when you hear about the buffets. It's like or like in the office when they're like, I'm gonna go to strip club. They're like, strip club at lunchtime. You can't unsee that.
That's definitely the B team working lunchtime.
Oh my god!
But you remember? I remember as a kid talking about buffets. Like that was like a big treat. Like every couple months, or when family would come to town from up north, you'd go to the local buffet. And like your parents would starve you for the day,
Oh yeah,
we got to get our money's worth out of this buffet, and that was like because you had free reign as a kid, you have whatever you wanted, and it was a buffet, and
you know what I was just talking the other day about this with Jennifer, and it was the buffet at Wendy's. Wendy's used to have a salad and a big potato bar buffet.
Yeah. I remember that. We had the KFC all you can eat buffet. I never went to that. Pizza Hut did theirs, and then but we had Cece's Pizza, which we used to like. We always dragged to a kid's birthday party at Cece's, and it was just okay pizza, just kind of garbage pizza, but at least you had 100 different types of pizza. To eat, but yeah, and then a couple Chinese buffets. I think the last one around here closed.
But, really? Yeah, we got a couple around here. I mean, it depends, on where you're going. We even back home, like when I lived in Reading, I can't think of the name of the buffet right now, but I lived in Reading, Pennsylvania, and it was always like a big thing to like wake up Sunday morning after you've been drinking all night and just drive like 45 minutes to this. It was like a Amish Pennsylvania Dutchy type buffet. And it was just like anything imaginable in there. And that was always the thing to do on Sundays. And one of the best buffets I was at, believe it or not, was I took my dad. My dad and I went. I got tickets, and we went to the Eagles game, and it was the Eagles Bears, and I got these odd tickets in this lower box, in the corner, and I'd never been there before. We always used to go up in the super box, right? When I got them for my company, and these were, I was like, what the fuck? I've never heard these before. And it was kind of like right above the 100 level, so it's great seats, great view of the game, and we sat at the bar. And the bartender, and then the glass in front of it there's the stadium, the game, and they had a buffet that was just freaking to die for. And I never knew that existed. I think that was at the old vet. I never knew that existed. That was one of the best I've been. Shady Maple, there you go, JJ. Shady Maple, damn Skippy. Shady Maple. That's one we used to go to all the time. I figure when he said he went to Al's for his bachelor party. Yeah, Shady Maples. That was the bomb there, boy.
Well, was it like it kind of sounds like a shady dive place, but I don't.
No, it was like walking into just an oversized place. Like from what I remember, it was like walking into like if your grandmother like decided to open up a buffet.
Okay.
The food was fantastic. Oh my god, it was just too much. Especially you get a breakfast buffet. I love breakfast buffets. I'll eat my weight in food. Yep. There's RJ knows too. Everybody knows everybody knows about that. Yeah. Shady Maple, bro.
The smorgasbord. That's what that's a term. Man, RJ, that's a term that's a blast from a match. Smorgasbord.
That's you go that Lancaster area. Yeah, it was it was in between. It was like when I lived in Reading, it was going into Lancaster. That's right. It was right on the way, but it was a good 45-minute drive, but it was worth it, man. And then the drive back was just like, everyone would just sleeping in the car.
Everybody's pants unbuttoned. And, I remember my dad always going after the like the crab legs and the things like that. And then just us kids just eating just shit. Like whatever. I've never had this before. I'll try a little of this, a little of that, and then. But if my grandparents, when we would go up north and see them in Ohio, they had that rule: whatever you took on your plate, you had to eat. You had to eat. So don't take something you don't want. And like down here, it's like, hey, hey, this I've never had gumbo before. Let me try that. This is disgusting. I'm not eating this. So but yeah.
You can still go to an old country buffet if you're really feeling nostalgic.
Old country buffet. No, I only
you have an OCB?
I only know of Old Country Buffet from South Park. So that's the only reference to Old Country Buffet that I know about.
Yeah, you want to get old? You go to Old Country Buffet. That'll
have it.
That'll take you back some.
I think we still have I believe we still have a Golden Corral.
Golden Corral, yeah, we got a Golden Corral too. I was gonna say that's the other one. We actually took the kids to Golden Corral a few years ago, and I gotta tell you, if I'm gonna do a buffet, I'll do Golden Corral.
Yeah, I used to see all the time they'd have like all you can eat steaks.
Yeah.
Like, well, how good are those steaks? But whatever. And how many could you eat?
It's you see the guy sitting there cooking them, man. He cooks them right in front of you too. They have it right in that area.
Now we have the Texas Day Brazil. Have you been to one of those?
Yeah, I've been to a Brazilian steakhouse. Yeah.
And Jessica and I we didn't get our money's worth out of there, because it was kind of expensive and we didn't eat a lot. Like they would come to the table like cutting the meat for you or whatnot. Like
you'll leave there with the gout, man, if you forget stay too long.
Yeah. So we didn't we left there like, we really didn't get our money's worth, we feel. Like we didn't eat that much. So,
well, did they have like a regular buffet of like sides, right? And then you just
all your they like whatever your salads and then a lot of other sides, and like they did all the meat. They bring sausages by and kebabs and then whatever the shawarma where they would cut it, so off there. But yeah,
you're right. You do have to eat a lot to get your money's worth because it is usually kind of pricey. We've been to a couple and I remember actually the first one I was at was years ago. It was like, I think it was in Vermont or something. It was like right on the border when I was working up in that area. And just great food. But if you're paying $50 a head or $60 a head or whatever the hell it is, you best be ready to freaking, like I said, leave there with a case of the gout or double up on your freaking cholesterol meds.
Yeah,
because you're gonna have to dig in, get your money's worth. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm always a dessert guy, so I always fill up on the desserts. That's what I always go after.
I'm a sides guy. Even growing up, like for Thanksgiving and whatever holidays we had for Easter, I'll load my plate up. It'll be like 90%. Sides, and then I'll throw some ham or some turkey, but I'll load up with sides. I'll carb the fuck up.
I'll have like one slice of ham, one slice of turkey, and then that's it. It's like I don't care about the meats. I want all of the sides. So
all the veggies. I mean, God, it's like mashed potatoes, filling, corn, carrots, whatever freaking ridiculous amounts of casserole and sweet potatoes. And it's like, can I get that small salad plate? Why? I want to put I want to throw a piece of meat on there.
Yeah, the rolls. If someone brought the good rolls, and it's like, that's all I'm eating are the rolls.
Good stuff, man.
Building my roll sandwich out of the sides, So
my buddy Matt, God rest his soul. He used to take mashed potatoes and he'd put them right in the middle of his plate. He'd just make a big crater and then just put everything in the middle. And that's what he ended at the end. He would take a roll and crumble it on top of everything. I was like, God damn.
You got to make the volcano mashed potatoes, because then you scoop through the center. You get the potatoes. You get a little bit of everything on every scoop. So,
do you have you been reading in the the news about the Pope.
The Pope is how's he doing? I heard the Prime Minister of Italy went and saw him. Is he doing good?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I knew he wasn't doing so good. He wasn't.
Well,
doing
he's not looking good. I mean, he looked like he's gained 200 pounds since
he definitely has gotten large. He's definitely gotten large. I did see that. But Nostradamus did predict his death and about his death and successor. So it'll be pretty interesting, because everybody's like, if you're one of those Nostradamus people, it's like Nostradamus. Yeah, he said, and I'm going to walk down the street. Well, he just predicted, and they really dragged it out.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know. I knew that he was. I think he was on dialysis. I think recently, or so he was going into some serious kidney and failure after battling. He had some sort of respiratory infection, and then he became septic. So, and when you're that old, man, I don't know.
People had high hopes for him, of making some actual change, and and then that kind of fizzled out after a couple of years. I don't know if they, like, oh, hey, you can't be doing all this.
No, he still he still did his thing. He was,
he did, yeah. He got rid of a lot of the bad, bishops, cardinals.
Yeah, he definitely had a different agenda from the traditional Catholic Church that I don't think was well received.
Yeah. Oh, JJ, can you imagine the food, just the food of whatever he wants, just
the Vatican that says that opposes a wall, but yet is surrounded by a wall.
Yeah, and isn't gluttony one of the sins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
looking at his waistline was very gluttonous.
So diddling children too, but that. But I mean, it's amazing. If you get a chance, watch the movie Conclave.
I'm trying to. I've heard of it.
Ralph Fiennes is in it. It's been nominated for an Academy Award. Now, again, I think this is another movie that kind of got some thumbs down from the Catholic Church, but it was a really good movie, regardless of whatever the message. I thought it was a really good movie. It gives you an idea of what is going on, when they are voting for the next pope, and they kind of marble in a storyline behind it, of what's going on, which I thought they did. I thought they did a really good job with it. I do. But it was a fantastic movie. It started off a little slow. I was like, okay, well, when it was at night and I was getting kind of tired, so I'm like, I think I'm gonna hold off on this one, and then kind of sit down and watch it. And Jen watched it with me for picked it up like early on, midway through or whatever, and it was impressive. It was great actors. I think that it was interesting how they laid out the whole process of them nominating a new pope. They really dive into a lot of the politics that go on, even within their own group, and even within the cardinals from different countries and different regions. It was pretty interesting. It really was. And no, go ahead.
So we watched Megan Fox's new video or movie the other day. It sucked. So I'm definitely looking for a new new
Megan
movie.
Fox, dude. Unless it's a Transformer movie. What was it?
I know. I forget what it was called. She was a robot, like an AI. It was a modern day Hand That Rocks the Cradle. But she was
Megan Fox is a robot. That's all you have to say. That is that automatically. I'll automatically give that a 2 stars out of 10. It was just for that description.
Yeah, it was bad, and it was Jessica's second movie in the row she picked, because usually she gets a movie, I get a movie, she gets a movie, but she did Jessica. 2 in a row. But she doesn't like to say I know she doesn't like to say that they were hers. Like, well, I sent you the trailer and then you said, okay, we could watch it. And I'm like, that's still your movie pick. That's still your movie. So I get the next 2 movies now.
Kevin.
So
if Jennifer approached me and said, hey, you want to watch a movie tonight? It's Megan Fox and she plays a robot. At that point, I would just no.
Yeah.
I don't care if the next line is she's naked through the whole movie. The answer is no. It's a terrible movie.
Yeah. You know, and the movie I wanted to watch, Grandma's Boy. And we watched Megan Fox robot movie instead of watching the classic. We
did watch The Gorge, which was actually a really good movie. I love movies that are entertaining and you don't have to think a lot, right? Especially when you've had a long day and like your brain's fried, right? I don't want to have to pay attention to and thinker. I just want to watch something that's going to entertain me. And this is a really good movie. You got to get it. We did get Elevation with Anthony Mackie, and that movie was but The Gorge actually was one of those movies where I was like, I'd watch that one again in a heartbeat. I'd watch it again. It was you throw in some action, you throw in some special units, some snipers, some monsters, a secret area that in the middle of nowhere that they think is the gateway to hell. And I'm like, okay, and then I look at the actors who were in it too. So that they had a pretty good cast in there. And we just finished up a limited series, and I got to tell you, it was good, and it was probably the first time in a long time Robert De Niro did anything worthwhile, because his movies have
sucked. I won't watch anything with him in it anymore.
It was 0 Day. I thought it was a great movie. It was a political movie, but to me, it didn't have, and maybe someone can explain to me if they saw it, that there was, to me, it really didn't have like this. I thought it was going to be this really heavy leaning political agenda. There was some, but it was a great movie. It was a great series. It really was. If you get a chance to watch it, it's like 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah.
He does a really great job in it. He's got a great cast around him, but a fantastic series it was, and it really kind of got back to Robert De Niro being a really good actor, and not doing this, freaking whatever crap he's doing, War with Grandpa, and all this other stuff. I mean, he was fine in Joker. I get it. That was decent, but still, he's just been he just, there's too much Robert De Niro out there, and he's just it leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And then you start seeing crap movies, and then he's got the Irishman movie, which is like 8 days long, which should have been a miniseries. No. Good series.
We watched Carry On with Jason Bateman a couple weeks ago.
Carry On. That was
a shit movie.
That was another movie that Jen and I watched, and we were like, It was one of those ones where you don't got to do a lot of thinking, but it wasn't really, like you said, it wasn't one that we were kind of that we could definitely go back and, because we love I love him as an actor. He's great. That's someone who's, you can tell he's capitalizing on on the popularity of the Ozarks, series and stuff like that.
We want to get into the new, speaking of series, The Americas, with narrated by Tom Hanks. I've been everybody.
Daryl said it's great.
Yeah, everybody else last couple days, like everybody's been. So I'm assuming it finally came out or something, and everybody's been raving about it and said it's really good.
Yeah, Daryl's been. We were messaging each other last night, and he said he started and really enjoys it. He does really good. It's I guess maybe I'll hop into it. Tom Hanks kind of like, It is what it is. Tom Hanks.
Yeah, he kind of went crazy with the politics there, and kind of disenfranchised me a little bit. But
yeah, I also think that with Tom Hanks, it's like there's just some movie. He's getting a little annoying. It's not the politics that bothers me. It's when they come off as being a little too holier than thou, and you're like,
yeah,
listen, dude, when was the last time you literally drove down and went to the grocery store and had to pick out some groceries? You know, just stop trying to believe that that you understand.
Stop trying to get me to fundraise for like the wildfires in Maui and California there and these other natural disasters. And then I just think of like people like him and like Oprah, and it's like, you can't possibly spend your money in your lifetimes. You can't possibly. You just don't ask me for $100. Don't ask the other guy for some money. Just pony up some money.
Yeah.
The lead by example. You show me that you gave $10 million, and maybe I'll give $100 because that's the same to me. $100.
Tell me you're gonna match everyone's donations. There you go.
Yeah. Up to whatever amount. But yeah, just like you said, like holier than thou. It's just like they have no idea what it's like to be in the real world with real world problems.
No, not at all. We did start a series that we've watched now and really enjoyed it. And this new series kind of sucks. It's Reacher. As you know, the movies.
I haven't gotten into it.
The movies had Tom Cruise, and everyone was heavily critical because the books had Reacher as like the 6'4", 260-pound, like freaking all steel. And then Tom comes in, at 5'9" when he's lucky. And I think Tom Cruise. I thought the Reacher movies with Tom Cruise were fantastic.
I only saw the first one. It was good. That was one of my favorite books out of all the Reacher books. I've read dozens and dozens of them.
You probably were heavily critical because when you see Tom Cruise and you read the book, I didn't read the book, so that's why I was able to watch the movie and just see it as the movie itself. And do you remember that phase of what's his face who wrote the books on The Firm and The Pelican Brief? Can't think of his name.
God, he did like so many movies.
That was like in the 90s. His books were pretty popular back then, and I read The Firm and The Pelican Brief, and I read all. Then I went to go see the movies, and literally at that point it was like, okay, it was very disappointing. I especially when you read the book and there's just so much John Grisham.
Yeah, John Grisham.
And I'm like, it was like, I get it. I thought The Pelican Brief was different than the book, but it was acceptable because it was good. It had Denzel Washington. He can't do anything bad or wrong. He's so awesome. But in the books, I want to interrupt you. Like Denzel Washington, what was the guy in the book say? And nothing like, was it a black guy? I don't like it when they change ethnicities. No, he's
a black guy in the book. He needs to be a black guy in the movie.
No, he wasn't. He was a white guy in the book. But again, I was like, it's Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington.
I know.
If they did a movie on Pope John Paul II and they casted him, I'd be like, fuck yeah.
Like if it's a woman, I've read books where the main character went from being a woman to a man and vice versa, and I'm like, no, this is in the book. It's his whole story. He's like Reacher. He's a white guy, 6'4", 300 pounds, in his mid-30s, and that's what I picture. I don't want Tom Cruise. I don't want a short Asian guy. I just want, and in the same, like I said, if it's a big black guy football player, I don't want to see a little white guy in there. So I don't know. That's just me after reading, because I have like this weird, and then sometimes their voices, like, oh, that's not. I'll get disappointed in their voice.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's not how I pictured his voice.
Yeah. No, and The Firm was the same thing. It was like, when I read The Firm, it was like, I love Gene Hackman. He's in The Firm. When I read the book and his character, I'm like, nah. And I'm like, I think Gene Hackman's another one of those guys who, like Denzel Washington, just Morgan Freeman, just like one of the best. Like they are the
Unforgiven. Great.
Little
Bill and Unforgiven. What a great role that Gene Hackman did.
That is one of my all-time favorite movies, Unforgiven.
Yeah.
Everything about that movie is just fantastic. But just Open Range 2 is another good one. I love Kevin Costner. I'm a Kevin Costner fan.
I love everything he does.
That dude he's another one.
Books ruin all the movies. Yeah.
But yeah, Open Range, because what's his face is it? Robert Duvall. He's another guy who's just everything he does is just freaking great. But but when I saw Gene Hackman in The Firm, I was like, he's just not the guy, not his mentor, and it is tough. It is tough, a tough pill to swallow. But yeah, what Reacher season 3 is like, it was like, okay, listen, Reacher's really popular, second season coming off. Okay, we got to put together a Reacher series. Hey, can we just get a whole bunch of like subpar actors? And then what we'll do is we'll just surround him with these subpar actors, which then really makes his character seem subpar in the acting.
I honestly, sorry if you said it. Did you read the books? I can't remember.
No.
Okay,
no.
So that's I'm wondering I've always wondered if the series is following like any type of story plots. So in the series, is each show dependent on the one you watched prior, or is it a new show?
Each series is his own little event that's going on.
Each show or each series, or like each
series, each season. So each season, like last season, there's a whole storyline, and this season, he's trying to infiltrate this this company that is a drug company, but maybe moving drugs, and someone's missing, and so each season it's like any other storyline, where it is its own little storyline within the season itself.
Oh, okay.
Some new adventure, since he's a drifter. It's a new adventure that he gets into. But yeah, I'm not a fan. I mean, I'm really not. I'm very disappointed in it. Just real tough, really tough to watch. And it just, I don't know, man. It was very very disappointed in it, because we were looking forward to it. Now we got a couple other series that are coming up soon that I'm looking forward to. And we also have, I don't know when is it going to be out, but we're also watching a series now that you may like. It's called Rogue Heroes. And Rogue Heroes is, as they say, this is based on these are based off facts, but this isn't a history lesson, and it's based off of the SAS and how the SAS came about, and how they built that special unit, and all the different battles that they fought during World War II. And it's highly entertaining, but it's pretty interesting when you read about the SAS and how it first came about, and the ideas behind it, and what their initial work was, and their job in Africa was, and then they went from Africa, and then they went into Sicily, and right now they're in Sicily and Italy. And how they led the way for a lot of the battles that went on in that area. Everybody always talks about World War II. They talk about, D-Day. They talk about that. You got your Saving Private Ryan with the parachutes, the airborne division. But a lot of these battles, like especially in Africa and what went on in Italy and Sicily, are just crazy.
Yeah, I could get into something like that. I don't know if Jessica would be into something like that, but I'm not I'm not a series guy because, like I said, I've just been disappointed too many years of just cliffhanger endings, and then it's like a year goes by before like the next season comes out, and then it's just I don't know. Jessica
Even
loves
longer.
series, or
even longer now.
We
just started 1923 again, right? 1923 is part of the whole Yellowstone series.
Yeah.
Yellowstone, and it went back to like 1883, then 1923. And 1923 came out. We're like, well, when was the first? It was released in 2023, the end of 2023.
Yeah, I'm Jessica watches tons of series, binges everything. And me, I like I like shows where each show, if it's an hour-long show, wraps up that story. And then we move to the next and usually those are all in, I don't know, I like learning, so I really don't care about acting and a storyline. I want to learn something, in my hour and then be content, with that. So that's why I watch Modern Marvels.
Watch that stuff. It's like, listen, we're gonna build bowling balls. And we're gonna start with this, and we're gonna end with a bowling ball.
Even shows like Ancient Aliens, which is dumb. That's my vice is Ancient Aliens.
Oh yeah,
it's like so. But that's how the universe works, space's deepest secrets. I love all that shit.
Pop in a Y-Files from time to time.
Yeah. I just watched the newest one today on the Antarctica.
I'm 3/4 of the way through that right now. So if I do get like a moment to grab a lunch or something, I'll grab some food and I'll watch the Y-Files real quick. There's a good 20, whatever. They're no longer than 30 minutes, so it's a good 30-minute, a break on things. I'd love to have him on the show, man. He's an interesting character.
Oh, he's he is definitely an interesting guy. And like I said, I've been following him since he had like 10,000 subscribers. Now he's, millions deep. And he just and I wish he'd put out more stuff, but I know, like watching him on other stuff and then like the behind the scenes stuff, he just does so much research. I bet, and he does have a little team working with him now. And it's probably weeks for every episode. It kind of sucks. It's like, it just, you want to see, but you do appreciate all the time that he puts in.
Well, yeah. Especially when I love how he tells the story and then he breaks it down then and says, okay, was this true? What parts are true? Which parts are false? Which parts are exaggerated? Because some of the stories he tells and he breaks it down, I still hear other people. I heard Joe Rogan one day talking about the whole UFO that landed in Brazil and the guy who freaking carried the alien to the hospital and then got mysteriously sick and died. And I was like,
yeah,
you gotta watch the Y-Files, man. He debunked that whole thing, but it's a great show. And I do like Hecklefish,
he Jessica hates Hecklefish, but Hecklefish is doing his job, but yeah, and then I like the Sean Ryan podcast, but fuck, bro, you put out 3 to 5 hour episodes per week. Give me a break, dude. Like I'm like
long.
I'm dozens of episodes behind, and now I just and then that newest one he did with Lou Elizondo, what a garbage. And people keep and here's what irritates me about the Sean Ryan show. People keep saying he's such a great interviewer. No, he's not. He's probably the worst interviewer I have ever met or I've ever watched. Mm-hmm. He's horrible. He has fantastic guests that don't allow him any downtime. So, I mean, I would love for someone to count the amount of words that Sean Ryan actually says in a 5-hour podcast. I bet it's not 100 words. He doesn't know anything. Like someone will bring something up and like, oh, do you know about this? He'll be like, no, I don't know what that is. I'm like, how the hell do you know? A 5th grader knows what that is, Sean.
Yeah.
How do you not know what that is? And it drives me nuts. So, and then sometimes like I said, he'll just be talking. I'm like, shut up, Sean. I say it out loud. Shut up. you have a world-renowned guest on this topic. Just let him talk. Just go back to not saying anything.
Yeah, his interviews are long. I don't mind him too much, but I find myself like skipping to like, if you have the guys from Benghazi, I want to listen to what happened through their eyes at Benghazi. I understand, I respect your build up and learning a little bit more about the person, and I may go back and listen to that, but a 3-hour podcast, like you said, it's just, I don't care, I want to listen to your experience prior, during, and after Benghazi, like days prior and everything. I don't want to hear if you were freaking first baseman on your little league team.
I know these deep dives that he goes in. I mean, I want to hear if there's something that important that happened in your life. Maybe your dad passed away when you were 9, and you had to become the man of the house. I mean, that's important to the story and how you got to where you were. But like you said, I don't care where you grew up. I don't care if you had a normal childhood and all that. And
or do a better job of truncating that part, because I think that you can. A lot of folks don't do that, and since you say he's not a good interviewer, you don't know how to guide your guests down the pathway, because there's times if your guest is going off the trail, you got to guide them back to it and get to what people are going to listen to. And that's when you get what would normally be an hour, maybe an hour and a half long podcast, turning into a 3.5 hour long podcast.
And he's done, and he used to split them up into like 3 parts, and there'd be like each part would be 3 hours. I mean, it'd be nothing for him back, when he started to do a 6-hour podcast. Like, no, it takes me a month to watch a 6-hour podcast. A 3 hour, I don't mind 3 hours. I mean, because sometimes I see, that's what you need to tell a story is 3 hours. But yeah, it's I don't know. He needs to. People always say, oh, he's the best, and no, he had a good run of some really good people at the very beginning, because of his CIA background, like Andrew Bustamante, I think is what really catapulted Sean Ryan, that show. And then he just has amazing guests, on that's that talk with him, and but yeah, it is what it is.
I do like listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, because he is someone who I feel does I think he does a lot of background search. He does a lot of research. He's got guys obviously there who help him with his research. But when you hear him interact and have conversations, he's not a dummy.
No.
He's not a dummy. He's very smart. When you look at him, you think he's just a meathead, but he's very smart. And I think he even, like, I've seen him with some guests where, even if he doesn't understand it, or if he's not believing it, he'll call him out. He'll call bullshit on something.
He'll fact check it right there. Let's bring that up on the screen. You know, and it's so.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his stuff here.
I like Joe.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, you get some of these folks on there. It's I don't know. I do like watching his stuff. I'm a fan like you. If I'll watch Ancient Aliens, I watch all that crap. I love to learn all about that funky stuff. But I'm telling you, I love the Y-Files. I'm with you. I wish he did more. He produced more, because I'll go back after I start getting into it. I went all the way back to the beginning and like watched all of his clips, and then if I'm really bored and I have a long trip, I'll listen to his like everything on everything on aliens. Like it'll be a 3-hour best of stuff like that. But all in all, when he does stuff, this Antarctica one's really kind of got me hooked in it, because he's already referenced Bird, that big Antarctic, the big was it Colonel Byrd?
Yeah, that's Admiral Byrd. Yeah,
Admiral Byrd. That's it. He's already debunked that.
Yeah, that whole several people debunked his.
That was a
crazy thing,
bullshit thing. So, when you only have, when you start referencing, and he does it obviously because of the situation and the location. When you start referencing other shows that he's debunked, I'm like, okay, this one here, I'm kind of waiting for the end of this one because this is pretty interesting. Especially Antarctica, man. Antarctica is just, there's a lot of weird things down there.
There's a lot of weird things, and I find it odd that that we can't just go there. We have to ask. We have to ask for. Nobody owns it. There are nobody owns. But so I'm not allowed to just go there because a military, and most likely our military, is going to stop me from just looking around.
Yeah.
When nobody owns it, there's a treaty. So, but as long as I'm not, wrecking the place, I should just be able to.
But why is there a treaty? Why?
Why? Because we're protecting the pristine environment. Bullshit.
No, I'm not buying it. That's, I mean, facts that we know, the Nazis did go down there to build military bases. We know that for a fact. That's a fact. We know that there's some shit that went on down there that's a little, I don't know, man. It's a lot of military stuff that's just a little too dicey. I think is a little questionable. But at the end of the day, there's a lot down there that's not known. And when you have that many countries who sign a treaty and agree to, listen, we don't agree on a lot, but we ain't letting anybody go down to Antarctica.
Yeah.
That's automatically going to raise some red flags. And I'm not buying that you want to keep it pristine. Not in the least.
Yeah. No, not at all. And it's mind boggling when you think about it, like there's land. I mean, on Antarctica, that's all ice pack. There's actual land, with dirt and gravel, but it's 3 miles beneath the ice. Yeah. That to me, I can't comprehend that. Because you see like the water, like the iceberg, they're 100 feet above the water, and it's like, but 3 miles down is hard pack land. You got that lake Vostok, down there that's 2 miles under the ice. It's like this whole lake.
Crazy.
It's
the whole world under like 2 or 3 feet of ice.
It's it's absolutely insane.
It is.
So
and it's the one thing that always got me was I won't get the specifics right, but all the maps that
I was going to bring that up. Yeah,
the maps that don't have Antarctica on it because it was what was it found, like something crazy. It wasn't too terribly long ago, right?
No, so maybe a couple hundred years ago, but the maps
there's like a map like 1,500 years. There's maps that show Antarctica on it.
Yeah, and
you froze, Kev. Is that me again? Hello, Brian. Anybody? Can anybody? Is it me again, or is Kevin frozen? Did Kevin step outside and go into Antarctica? Because he seems to be frozen right now. I think Kevin is out. He did ask me to send him a link to the show. But looks like Kevin may have gone into and visited Antarctica because he is frozen. Let me see if I can do this real quick here. Get Kevin back on the show. So yeah, I mean, Antarctica is most definitely a crazy place when you think about it, especially with just how this treaty won't allow anybody to go down there. And I was actually getting ready. I thought maybe I did something because I was getting ready to look up the map that that has Antarctica on it before it was actually found. So let me send this link to Kevin. So there we go. So yeah, hopefully Kevin will be able to hop on and join us soon. Poor Kevin is frozen in Antarctica. So this is the Antarctica. Is he here? Hey, Kev.
Can you see me and hear me?
We can hear and we can see you. It said you got frozen. You got stuck on Antarctica.
All right. It was our.
Well, you there? You're frozen again, Kev. Kevin's frozen again. Frozen Kev. There we go.
Okay, I had to turn my internet off because my Wi-Fi, everything is down.
Oh, really? Oh boy.
Yeah, the whole neighborhood is out.
Oh.
No, I mean it was sprinkling earlier.
Electricity or just internet?
No, electricity. Yeah, we lost everything.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yeah, it was. The whole world powered down. We were talking about the Antarctica.
Antarctica, they're on to you. I guess they don't. They think I'm just. They don't take what I have to say too serious or more serious than you. No, I was just talking about how we were talking about the maps, and it was the Piraeus map is the one that from like 1500s or something. But yeah, it is always pretty interesting when you read about that. But I think it was Antarctica was founded in 1820. 1820. The first sighting of Antarctica was 1820 by a Russian expedition led by Admiral Gottlieb.
Man, that's just just a couple hundred years ago. I just that's crazy. But it's what are they trying to hide from us for sure?
Yeah, it's crazy, and that it is. You don't realize like that wasn't that long ago. It really wasn't.
No, I mean, you think about like say, it just dinosaurs. Like we've only known about dinosaurs, like the existence of dinosaurs, for like 150 years. Think about that. There's been. I watched there's a little video, and someone trying to debunk whether dinosaurs ever existed, and the one point that they made, which was really good. Like we've only found like the T-Rex. Like we've only found, let's say, like a dozen complete skeletons of the T-Rex, and both at one time. As long as they were on the planet, there was over 1 billion of them. 1 billion. That's how long they lived. And we've only found like 12, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like they should be everywhere. Like all of these dinosaurs, billions and billions of when they ruled for, 80 million years. Like I said, humans have only been around, in what we know of, of us, for 75,000 years, and we have found thousands of humans, but we've only found dozens or a dozen T-Rex when there was 1 billion of them. I don't know, something's not adding up.
Yeah, they're all in our gas tanks. That's why.
Yeah.
They're all in our gas tanks. I have to imagine that. It's more than just that. But yeah, they're talking about some of these maps are from the 1500s, the 1600s. They're showing some maps have Antarctica without ice. It is pretty interesting though when you think about it. I mean, it is an area that definitely raises some suspicion. And whenever you have governments that join together and say you can't go here without our permission, that just heightens the level of suspicion that much more.
Yeah, because if you and I wanted to go to the North Pole, Kerr, there's no restrictions. We just go. Yeah. We go tomorrow. And why is that? Why is that any different? We can't go to the South Pole without permits and requisitions and paperwork, and so we can go to one side of the planet covered in ice, but we're not allowed to go to the other side.
Right, and it's there's also some areas. It's the Google map. Don't they restrict some areas?
Oh yeah,
in Antarctica.
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
It's like all right. Well, this is a little questionable on what's going on here, but it always that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm naturally going to be curious by nature, but I also think that there's a lot of distrust out there, and then when you act a little shady, at that point it becomes even more suspicious. It just does, I don't know. I'm always up for a good conspiracy theory, Kev.
Yeah, I'm always down. I don't believe in all of them, but a lot of them make me think. But I'm always down for a fresh one. We haven't had we haven't had a fresh one in a while since the drones have died down. We need to we need to get a good one going.
I wasn't really satisfied with that response either on what the drones were.
No, yeah. Not a good, but we got the new one. We're going back to Fort Knox. We're gonna see if the gold's there.
Dude, that's gonna be like when what's his face? Who's he's the TV personality? Geraldo Rivera, when he opened up Capone's vault.
Not Hoffa, but
Al Capone's vault.
Al Capone's vault.
Yeah, that was a big nothing burger. He found a bottle. It's like, come on, listen. Keep taking the spending and looking at the ridiculous spending and cutting it. I don't need to have a reality show on going to Fort Knox. I don't.
That's Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is behind all of that. He believes it's not there. So I think he got in Trump's ear, like, hey, do me a solid. I campaign for you. I kind of need to know if the gold is still there, and of course that they're, now that they've made the announcement, like they're not gonna, what are they gonna do? Open up all the vaults, because there's dozens of vaults. They're just going to open up, because I don't know if they're bringing cameras, because if they bring cameras and they only open up one vault, because each vault's very small, maybe like 4 feet by 4 feet by like 8 feet tall. So very small vaults. But if they just show one, people are going to lose their fucking minds, Kerr. Like, oh, there's a row. There's like, there's 30 doors, and you just pick this one random one and show, oh yeah, look, the gold's here. Nothing more to see here. People will lose their fucking minds.
I don't know, man. I think we got bigger fish to fry. I mean,
yeah.
What's the purpose of it? You're gonna open up Fort Knox and show that there's no gold, therefore our money has nothing that backs it. Is that really the message you want to send? All we're doing is just printing off paper.
So I think for the most part, everyone knows it's there. It didn't go anywhere. We'll prove it's there, and then that'll just be one. He'll prove that still exists. So
it's on the dark side of the moon with the alien bases. That's where it is, because the aliens need gold. I don't know. That sounds like
that's conspiracy. It. I'm a firm believer they're on the moon, baby. very firm believer.
You know, that's where the gold is too. The gold's on the dark side of the moon with the aliens. They need gold. That's why we're the only planet that has gold, right? And that the whole idea behind it. I think that was an L. Ron Hubbard movie.
Yeah, that's why humans were created.
Yep. Yeah. That's the Anunnaki, right? To mine the gold.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll tell you what, man. You take a little bit of truth and you sprinkle in some craziness, man. It starts to all sound real, doesn't it?
that it does. That it does.
What is that movie that I actually love the movie, and it's considered the worst sci-fi movie ever, and it was there it is. It was Battlefield Earth. Did you ever see it?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, you have to watch Battlefield Earth because it's all these Scientologists are in it, like Forrest Whitaker, what's his face is in it, John Travolta's in it, and it's based off an L. Ron Hubbard book, and it's about how the aliens are after the gold, and we're mining gold, here, and they kind of eliminate our whole civilization, and now we're just a bunch of just basically, just above a caveman type level. And it's actually, I thought it was I love the movie. It's very entertaining. I think the special effects are pretty decent in it too, but yeah, it's the whole thing is based off of the head of Scientology. Like Bill Burr always says, he's like that. He goes, you got all these religions, and all these leaders are like from 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, several hundred years ago. He's like, your leader of your religion had a driver's license.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, he had a driver's license, man. The guy was, and he wasn't a dumb man. I mean, I've watched some old interviews with L. Ron Hubbard. When you hear him, you think of the Dianetics, remember that book back in the day, or all this other shit. But he's not stupid at all. Big L. Ron.
Yeah, you can't be dumb and create a cult and a religion, and you can't do that being a dumb man. Gotta have some kind of smarts.
No, I mean, he definitely was an interesting fellow. But he's smart dude. But yeah, I remember Dianetics, man. I remember that commercial back when I was younger.
Yeah.
God almighty, that thing was like, that'll change your life, bro. Get Dianetics, just read it. It'll change your life. It's like, I don't know, man. And then you have Tom Cruise, who's one of the big the big wigs of Scientology.
Well, I think on that note, let's we'll for the Scientologists cut all of our yours and mine power both.
I know, man. Tom Cruise took a beating tonight. He took a beating on Reacher. He took a beating on Scientology. I am looking forward to the new Mission Impossible movie, though. I do like his Mission Impossible series. They're great.
Yeah, I watched the first one and then I never followed up, so I'll have to maybe binge those.
They're good.
One month.
Yeah, they're good. I like Tom Cruise as an actor. He's like, but he's a great actor, and he does all of his stunts, and he's definitely someone who's an interesting fellow. But yeah, you got electricity to deal with, or lack thereof, and we got Scientologists who are going to be looking out for us.
Yeah, that's it. So everybody join us next Monday night. We're back with the I Tap That Cigar Show. We'll have a special guest, Tim Long from Tobacco Talk Media. Getting caught up. Tim's always a great guest. We always love talking with him and seeing what he's up to. So we'll I know he was just at the TPE. We'll probably be seeing him at the PCA. He's out in California, so maybe we'll get caught up on the wildfires, figure out what's going on out there. So everybody join us back on Monday night. if you're watching this tonight, listening to the podcast in the future, in the links down below, the social media links, you can find Kerr and I on all the various Twitters or the X and the Instagram and whatever. So definitely check us out. Kerr, you'll have to the end. I don't know how to.
I'm also going to ask everybody. I'm going to play us out, and I'm going to play the two of the. Now there's going to be more, but there's two the two songs that we had created for the show. So we definitely would like to have your feedback on these two musics, intros, themes. There'll be more, and I think once I kind of download the others and we kind of get into a good feel for at least a good maybe 4 or 5 or 6, we'll put it out there and see which ones kind of sit well with the audience. So I will go ahead and roll us out, Kev, on the Puff and Ponder podcast original, the very much country and poppy inspired song that Kevin loves so much. We'll see you next week.
Welcome to the Puff and Ponder podcast, where conversations ignite. Here's Kevin and Kerr. Grab a seat, light it up, let's unwind. Kevin and Kerr with stories in mind, from good cigars to last night's game. Join the talk, you'll be glad you came. Puff and Ponder, sparks take flight. Conversations blaze all day and night. Tune in now, don't hesitate. It's the show that's great. Let's elevate where conversations ignite. Don't hesitate.
That one is Gitchy, man. We got one more for you, and here is a little bit of reggae, man.
Welcome to the Puff and Ponder podcast, where conversations ignite. Yes, Kevin and her. Grab your seat, light it up, let's unwind. Kevin and her with stories in mind, from tech gifts to last night's game. Join the talk, you'll be glad you came. Puff and Ponder, sparks take flight, where conversations ignite. Tune in now, don't hesitate. It's the show that's great. Let's elevate.
Good love your feedback, man. Let us know which one. We'll catch you later.